Thank you guys so much. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to this class of 2021. Really remarkable. I know it's hot. I know the sun is beaten down, but what a remarkable road that you have been on to get here. And I hope when you look back on this day, you will remember the heat and you will remember the masks. But I look around and I feel like you are surrounded on three sides by the family and friends who have loved you, on this side by the staff who tears up and treats you and believes you are part of their family as well. That's remarkable. Not everyone has that. Not everyone gets that on their graduation day, and I hope you remember that intense love that I can feel as a visitor to your amazing school, and I hope that stays with you for the rest of your life because it's remarkable. Now, when we talk about this remarkable road you've been on, it's a journey. I can gather from everything I've heard from you guys, it's a journey of detention and hair bands and Mr. Williams, and it is a journey that has had so many great moments, so many firsts that you have been accomplishing. It is impossible, though, to ignore this last mile that you have been on to get here, and this world that has changed right before your eyes as you were just trying to finish up high school, right? I have spent my career, I was born in Oakland, raised here in the Bay Area. I've been back for a while now, but I've spent my career telling other people's stories. And this last year, I have told stories like I have never told before, never imagined I would. Even with this long career of telling, I thought I had told every single story in some regard. But what a difference a year makes to the stories I told last year to that graduating class, to the stories that you are telling now and the hope that you have on the road ahead, the way your summer looks, the way college can start, the way the next chapter can start for so many of you. This is not what you imagined, but it gets better from here, and what you have done to this point is amazing. You know, they say every year in high school leaves its mark. I imagine if you imagine yourself and just look at a picture of freshman year versus what you looked like last year versus looking in the mirror today as you were putting on your cap and gown. You guys had, in these final months, a year that we will all remember, a year that would bring us together and tear us apart. It would be a year that we would shelter in our homes and also march in the streets, a year that would challenge our beliefs and inspire us to challenge the norm. A year where we have faced racism and we have faced hate, but we have seen activism and we have seen allies. It is a year that has sparked great discussions about politics, about science, and social justice. It would be easy, and I hear this from people, and how do you not feel defeated after everything people have had to endure? From the distance learning to the digital divide, from the loneliness, the separation, the fear not just for ourselves, but for those we love, the closures of stores and businesses, the economic hardship, and the loss. And all of that was going, you guys were applying for colleges and taking AP tests. It was not easy. The list is long, and as I sit here, you guys are teenagers. You deserve to just enjoy that last part of your ride. And I'm sorry that it was so hard. But when I tell the stories of your class and your generation, they are stories of hope. They are stories of resilience, of strength, and compassion. And if I'm honest, why I feel so much hope as I stand before you today is because of you, because of the community, because of the family, because of your generation and how clearly that you see the future and what you want to do to change that future and inspire change. You have been taught so much over the last 4 years, skills and an education that will carry you far. Through college and whatever your next steps are, you will grow because of what you've learned here. But I believe that the world will be better because of what you have to teach us. You have a deep understanding of what you have been given because of what you have faced and what you were forced to grow up even earlier than you should have had to. Those lessons, while hard, are important, and they have granted you wisdom. Now, when I graduated from high school, let's just talk about racism. I thought it was a part of life. I did not have a class that looked like yours, full of diversity. I did not have teachers that looked like yours, full of diversity. I did not look out and see people who looked like me. And I thought it was just going to be a part of life. I thought I couldn't change it. I just needed to figure out how to accept it. When I was in college, I wondered if there would ever be a place where I would feel 100% accepted, or if I would ever feel like I belonged anywhere. I accepted less than that in my first workplaces, in my social life, in society. And it took years for me to get my feet underneath me, to understand that the strength of who I am comes not in spite of my identity, but because of it. As a journalist, I tell other people's stories. It took me a long time to find the courage to tell my own. I often tell people when I'm describing racism to people who don't experience racism, I said, well, if there's 100 people in the room, and 99 people don't feel the racism, but one person does, that one person will track me down and find me, and will say something to me. Well, for a long time, I focused on that one person or people. I focused on the group of boys who chased me down in middle school screaming racial slurs at me. I focused on the coworker who told me that if I had biracial children with someone who was white, I would taint their blood with mine. I focused on the people who made me feel small and less than. I paid too much attention to the people who made me feel like I'd never belong. It took me a long time to stop doing that. You guys are ahead of me in that. And maybe in the last year when I faced even more hate and racism, I told these stories that I couldn't believe we were still telling. I have learned something different. I have learned to face and focus on the 99 people in the room who want to be allies, who want to see me. I don't ignore the bad, but I try to focus on the good. And while I see the hate, I choose to also see and appreciate the love. My hope for you is that while we cannot ignore the challenges of what high school has been for you or what the world is as you sit here today, I hope you can appreciate how much good, how much support, how much your achievements outweigh your challenges, and how rising to your challenges should be a deep source of pride for you. I hope that you have great pride today, not in spite of what you have overcome, but because you have overcome, because you are our voices that will lead our next conversations. There are things that we learn in class that are so important: English, history, science, math, critical thinking. But there are things that teach us in life what our next steps will be. How we respond defines those next steps. I have thought a lot about what my generation, and specifically what I have done to make those next steps easier for you. There are times when I look around and think, it took me too long, I have not done enough. And the reason that you are struggling is because I have not done enough. And I felt like I failed. There were times in this last year where I felt I had failed. With all the division and the struggle and the pain, it feels like we should do more, and we should. But I've also come to understand that as a society, as a country, as a world, we are on a path. And I believe it's all our jobs to help build that path forward. What I've learned is that my job and your job is not to get to the end of the path. This is not about a finish line, but we put pebbles on the path to make those next steps easier. I used to think of it as a relay race, right? I would go, then you would go, then your kids would go, but now I realize we're all on that path together. This is a family. We overlap, we carry each other in difficult times. There will be a time when I stop and you continue, but my hope is we all together continue to always move forward. When people talk about what should we say at a graduation, especially a high school graduation, we talk a lot about how you are now prepared for the challenges you will face in the road ahead. Well, class of 2021, here's the thing. That road came early for you guys, and you have already shown that you are prepared. You have fought hard here at Ames for this next step. At Ames, you are part of closing an achievement gap. You have helped make your school one of the top performing schools in the Bay Area. You are ready to walk the path with college and so many other opportunities in your horizon. You have limitless possibilities. You were told from the beginning that your future begins with Ames. I believe our future begins with you. And it gives me so much hope for bright days ahead. Congratulations, class of 2021. You have earned this moment in the hot, hot sun. Enjoy every second of it.